then we're thinking taking a shot. If he's there, pop him the ball. If we grab the depth, we expect you guys to run right by him, okay?
He steps up in the pocket, lobs over the middle, caught at the 40, angling left, far left numbers, midfield down the left sideline, 30, hits a foot race, 20, to the 10, and taken down from behind at the 5-yard line. Amari Hayes, handoff Campbell, huge hole, angling left to the 5, and he steps inside the far left pylon. Touchdown, FAU!
Yeah, baby! That's how you run the ball!
That's how it's supposed to look, right?
That's how it's supposed to look!
Offense, you didn't punt, you didn't turn the ball over in the second half. Defense, they didn't score in the second half. Job well done, nice job.
That's a look at what happened before, during, and after the Owls' 41-10 win over Wagner last Saturday. Welcome to Inside the Owls Burrow, presented by Baptist Health. Alongside the Haggerty family head football coach Tom Herman, I'm Frank Fort. Florida Atlantic clearly the better team on paper, but as we know, the game is never played on paper. And it was a little bumpy in the second quarter, but other than that, I thought there were a lot of good things that would give this team confidence going into the bye week.
I would have hoped it gone differently, but when you think about how it went and the way our guys responded, it actually played out pretty well. So the starting quarterback went in. The plan was for him to play the first quarter, Case and Wiseman to play the second quarter and kind of evaluate where we were at halftime. Cam had a great first quarter, led us down to a couple drives that ended in points. Came out, actually had hurt his thumb, and Kaysen went in and struggled. And we stumbled around a little bit. We turned the ball over twice at quarterback. Our defense gave up 2 scores, and it was good for our guys to feel that adversity, because I'm almost glad the second quarter played out the way that it did, because we needed a little adversity. We needed to get punched in the mouth again the way that we did against UConn and be able to respond. And to our guys' credit, we came out, we didn't punt in the second half. They didn't score a point in the second half and held them to 60 yards on defense, and wound up, I think we rushed for over 200 yards in a half. So we came out in the second half and did what we were supposed to do consistently, and it was good to see them respond to the adversity in the second quarter.
You mentioned Cam had a good start in the first quarter. He converted on a 4th down run, came up shaking his throwing hand a little bit, and didn't play the rest of the game. So what's his status?
Today is Tuesday. He practiced, did not throw. Still, he's got tape on it and whatnot. But all the MRIs and all that just show a strain of his thumb. So the plan is, if he progresses to tomorrow being Wednesday, hopefully throw a little bit Wednesday, and by the end of the week, be ready to go.
So it's a good week to have a bye week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you would certainly be kind of rushing him back if we had to play Saturday.
Case and Wiseman looked a little nervous in the second quarter, fumbled through a pick, but it looked like he settled down at halftime and kind of got into a rhythm in that second half.
He did, and he's a guy that learns from his mistakes, which is, you never want to make a mistake, but the bigger sin is making the same mistake twice. And so, he was definitely rusty. You could tell he hadn't probably been live in a long time. Probably a couple years. And so it was good for him to have to battle through that, I think, and then regain his composure and lead the team the way, because we really didn't have another option at that point that had gotten meaningful reps in practice. And so, we kind of needed to lean on him, and he played really well in that second half.
You mentioned a much better start offensively in this game. Amari Hayes continues to show that explosiveness, hits a 71-yard catch and run on the first play. Later in the first quarter, 43-yard punt return. That'll help overcome slow starts.
Yeah, when the first play goes for 71 yards, that helps. And but what was good about that play was, yes, Omari breaking tackles and running down the sideline, but everybody executed really well. It was blocked well up front. The wideouts were spaced well. We were in an empty formation, so spacing is very important. And Cam threw the ball through a real tight window, in between and over 2 defenders, right in the breadbasket, so to speak. And so it was a big play, sure, but it was 11 guys doing their job, and you look and you say, whoa, like, okay, so if we do this every play, like we got a chance to do this. And so obviously competition and level of that plays a part in that, but just to know that we're able to do it against defenders, period, let alone, we've struggled at times on air completing passes. So for us to be able to go out and do that on the very first play of the game and then punch it in on the second one with some tempo and some urgency to us, that felt really good.
Other side of the ball, after getting gashed in the run game at Connecticut, and again, regardless of the level of competition, to come back and hold Wagner to 26 yards on 20 carries, 13 tackles for loss, including 2 sacks. That gives you a good feeling on defense.
Yeah, our defensive line did what they were supposed to do. They disrupted the game throughout the night, and you could tell that they felt our front guys the entire game. And so, save for, I've never been around something like that. You hold a team to 132 yards, and 102 of those come in one quarter. So in the other 3, when we played like ourselves, you're averaging giving up 10 yards a quarter, right? If my math serves me. So that's pretty good defense for 3 quarters. But those 2 drives that came away with points, where Wagner came away with points, those count. And again, the competition's going to increase from here, and we've got to make sure that we're able to lock in and play focused, disciplined football when the competition is really, really tough.
A word about Chris Jones, your senior. Before you got here back in 2020, he had a 3-sack game against UTSA. I thought this game was his best game of his career other than that. 2.5 tackles for loss, a sack, he batted down a pass. That's what you want from a senior.
Yeah, exactly. And, Chris has gone through a couple position changes since we've been here. He's a great leader. He's super smart. He's always in the right place. But to see him have now the production to go along with the do-right kind of way that he lives his life, the elite production to go with it has been fun to see, and a really good example to some of the young guys. Hey, you continue to work at it, you continue to do it the way that you're coached, really good things happen.
A lot of firsts in this game. Leon Washington catches his first official passes. Jamari Sands' first college touchdown. Jet Kuhlman, the walk-on receiver, gets his first catch. Carson Kruger, walk-on quarterback, threw that pass, first college completion. And walking off the field, he had tears in his eyes. And everybody has their own story. And whatever problems college football has right now, those moments are the one that, for me, make it worthwhile.
It's pretty cool for you to notice that, too. Yeah, that's why we coach, and Carson, the Kruger family are friends of ours. We love them to death, and I've seen Carson kind of grow up his teenage years at least. And, he's battled. The last time he took a competitive snap, he tore his ACL, and that was 2 years ago, and required 2 separate surgeries. The first one did not go well. So this kid has been literally, on the bench or in the training room for an entire 2 years. It was a pretty emotional moment for him.
We will save talk of North Texas until next week's show, so it is time for Tom Herman's Pop Culture Pop Quiz. Back in the Michigan State game, between the 3rd and 4th quarter, they were playing Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Okay.
Right? And I saw you singing along with the crowd.
Yeah.
Who is the iconic lead singer of Journey?
I wanted to say Steven Tyler, but that's Aerosmith. It's Steve Perry.
Correct.
The lead singer of Journey.
And one other question regarding Journey. Bass player for 2 different stretches for Journey. More recently, it was a famous TV talent show judge. Any clue on that one?
Whoa. Bass player for Journey, talent show judge. No.
Randy Jackson.
No
American
way.
Idol. Yes.
He played the bass for Journey?
2 different stretches of about 2 years each.
And you're not going to not get Randy Jackson's autograph. That's a line from Step Brothers, by the way.
All right, Coach, enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, man.
Coming up next, we'll visit with linebacker Zaire Horton and find out about his off-field hobby of graphic design. That's straight ahead on Inside the Owls Burrow.
What does it mean to feel welcome? To not only be cared for, but to be cared about, to trust. At Baptist Health, this is the warmer side of care. So welcome to being treated with a human touch, where your best interest is our best interest. Here, we advance innovation and treatments through research while educating the next generation of experts close to home. Welcome to the warmer side of care. Welcome to Baptist Health.
If you're tired of the same old boring cars, at Phil Smith Kia, we've got a car for every personality. Need a compact car to weave through traffic like a ninja? We've got it. Want an EV9 that's more spacious than your grandma's attic? We've got it. We'll work with you to find a deal that won't leave your wallet feeling like it's been on a roller coaster ride. Phil Smith Kia, home of the Maximus deal. Right, Maximus?
Right.
Phil Smith Kia, right here in Lighthouse Point.
Do you need a personal injury lawyer?
No recovery, no fees. No recovery, no fees.
You need a personal injury lawyer?
No recovery, no fees. Oh my God!
My current role at the Heat is Senior Vice President of Brand and Chief Creative Officer. In my role, I oversee all of the creative function, including design, branding, copywriting, including uniforms and merchandise. I think what I love most about the MBA Sport program was the combination of real hands-on practical curriculum, solving today's business problems, having high-level discussions around what was happening in the world of sports business.
Inside the Owls Burrow is brought to you by Baptist Health, official sports medicine provider of Florida Atlantic Athletics. By Florida Atlantic's MBA in Sport Management program, number 10 in the world. By Corona Extra, find the fine life, La Vida Más Fina. And by Phil Smith Acura, drive to win, driven by us.
All right, here we have a really good play design by our offensive coordinator, Charlie Fry. It's outside zone to a tight end with a lead back. So we've got great blocking up front, seal the edge. Wyatt Sullivan and the offensive line do a good job. CJ Campbell with the lead block, and then Zoo kind of runs all the way around the horn. And as he gets through the line of scrimmage, bends it all the way back. Making guys miss along the way, and as he does, gets all the way into the end zone.
We're back on Inside the Owls Burrow, presented by Baptist Health. Linebacker Zaire Horton this season has been a regular on the Owl special teams. Away from the field, Zaire likes to channel his creative energies into graphic design. Behind the Scenes is brought to you by Baptist Health, official sports medicine providers of Florida Atlantic Athletics. Tell me how your interest in graphic design started.
It's always been like a hobby of mine, just like feeling like it's been like a creative outlet in a sense, where I've always been on the field and I've always like been intrigued by these people that will take videos and pictures of my team during the game in high school, and they'll make these like crazy edits out of them. I always think like, gee, I wish I could do stuff like that. So I've kind of gotten into it, just tried it with like Photoshop and Illustrator and things like that. And slowly but surely like honed in on my skills and just went from there. Yeah, it's more of like stills, like pictures, things you would see like on a poster or on like an Instagram post, just like things like that.
So how do you start? Do you work off a photo and then go from there?
So yeah, I'll get inspiration from a certain photo that was taken, or I'll see something online that was like, oh, I think that's really cool. Like, I'm gonna try to like have the same vibe as that. And then I do think I draw a lot of inspiration from Clay and his team, and just like how they work and how everything looks so clean and what they do. So yeah. A lot of it is primarily football right now, but I do think that I want to like develop into like a different space, kind of go in a different direction, and probably music. I do like to listen to music a lot. I do some posters like just for practice on music and like different artists. But I think primarily what I want to do is like sports media and graphics of like the sort for like the NFL or like the NBA and stuff like that.
So you're thinking about this as a possible career after football?
Yes, yeah, of course. Working in the NFL as like a graphic designer or like a marketing manager is definitely what I see myself doing in the future.
Coming up, he's the big rig of the Owls defensive line. Get to know Jaden Wheeler in Pads Off. That's coming your way next when Inside the Owls Burrow returns. You're watching Inside the Owls Burrow, presented by Baptist Health. Throughout the season, we try to allow you to get to know your Owl players a little bit better through our series of offbeat questions. This week, it's defensive tackle Jaden Wheeler in Pads Off. Pads Off is brought to you by Sage Dental. We want to love your smile. This week, our guest in Pads Off is defensive lineman Jaden Wheeler from Nashville, Georgia, not Nashville, Tennessee. First of all, is Nashville, Georgia anything like Nashville, Tennessee?
Nothing at all. Like small, probably 3,000 people there.
Growing up there, did you have a favorite NFL team or player?
I'd say Aaron Donald. Just, growing up playing that position, defensive tackle. I mean, why not want to be like the best?
Yeah, he's absolutely one of the best. All right, let's get to know Wheels a little bit away from the field. What's the most annoying musical instrument?
Man, I'd say a trumpet. They just really loud and they obnoxious to me.
If you could only have one app on your phone, which one are you keeping?
Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the most reliable thing right now. Everything up to date. Something always new, something funny on it. I mean, you don't really need much more.
Which unconventional animal would you want as a pet?
A tiger. As crazy as that sound, I want a tiger. I probably wouldn't too much, fiddle around with it, but I'll feed it through the cage and that's about it.
What's the strangest or most exotic food you've ever tried?
Fish eggs, I think that's what it's called.
Fish eggs?
Fish eggs. Yeah. I tried it on a cracker, man.
Caviar.
Yeah, caviar. I ain't with it.
No, neither am I. I'm with you on that one. If you could go on vacation anywhere in the world, where would you go to?
Japan, probably Tokyo. Just to see the scenery. I know it's all kind of crazy high-tech stuff over there, and I think it'd be cool to see.
If aliens landed on Earth tomorrow and offered to take you back home with them, would you go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go, cause I feel like I wouldn't have no choice. They down here for a reason.
Which decade would you go back to live in? The 60s, the 70s, the 80s, or the 90s, and why?
I say the 90s. I mean, I love the old 90s movies I watched, the music. Just everything seemed to be more real back then. Like the parties, you had to go places to do with no phones, nothing like that.
What breed of dog would you be?
I feel like a Rottweiler. I feel like they just real calm dogs, but I mean, they could be aggressive if you need them to be.
If you could be a character in a video game, which game would you want to be in?
Crash Bandit. It's a fox on there. I'd be to do it.
What celebrity would you want to be your best friend?
Man, I'd say Denzel Washington, just because I feel like he'll keep it real at all times, especially the way he act in his movies. If he anything like that in real life, I feel like he'll be a good friend to have.
If you could be really good at a sport other than football, which one would you pick?
Something that I'm already not good at, I'd probably say soccer.
Yeah.
I like watching soccer. I don't know how they able to coordinate the ball and run at the same time. I feel like them people are real good athletes.
All right, final question for Jaden Wheeler this week. Have you ever eaten a whole pizza by yourself, and if so, what was on it?
No, yeah. It was just probably a pepperoni pizza. I'm a simple guy, but I definitely ate a whole pizza before.
I could definitely see you doing that. Wheels, thanks for taking the pads off and being with us.
Yes, sir.
Coming up, Where Are They Now features former Owl linebacker Quentin Swain, whose connection to Florida Atlantic remains strong. That's straight ahead on Inside the Owls Burrow.
At Sage Dental, you'll experience a modern, family-friendly approach to dentistry. From pediatric dentistry and orthodontics to cleanings and oral surgery, we've got the latest technology to provide your family the best dental care all in one place. And for a limited time, get a free new patient exam and x-rays, plus a free ProClean Sonic toothbrush at your first hygiene visit. Book your appointment today at mysagedental.com. Sage Dental. Open up and say awesome.
To win at this game, you have to put in the work. know the game plan, and execute. At Duffy's, our game is always on.
La cerveza más fina. To truly embrace the fine life, you must learn to let go. Only then will you find that even if you leave the beach, it never leaves you. Bienvenidos a la vida más fina.
Being a team administrator, you're the catch-all you're the hub of all the information. You're the center of the information for players, staff, even other departments. The connections that you make are, I think, the biggest thing when it comes to working in sports, and FAU's requirement to be active in it pushes it a long way. The content and the way it's delivered in each of the classes that you take in your 23-month program, it's real life experience.
Inside the Owls Burrow is brought to you by Baptist Health, official sports medicine provider of Florida Atlantic Athletics. By Sage Dental, we want to love your smile. And by Shiner Law Group, accident and injury lawyers. You're watching Inside the Owls Burrow, presented by Baptist Health. In our continuing series, Where Are They Now?, we try to catch up with former Owl players to see what careers they've embarked on once their playing days are over. This week, it's former linebacker Quentin Swain. Where Are They Now is brought to you by Florida Atlantic Sport Management Program, ranked number 10 nationally.
I'm Quentin Swain. I played linebacker at Florida Atlantic from 2002 to 2003.
You played 2 years here. What's your best memory or what stands out to you about those 2 years?
It was all love, and what I did take from it was Coach Snellenberger. He's a real Paul Bear Bryant coach, and he's tough. He was a tough coach. Just the mental toughness that he instilled in us. Like, we had a 200-play scrimmage that it pretty much took the life and soul from you. I think I lost 10 pounds that one scrimmage, yeah.
And of course, your last year, you led the team in tackles and you get to the, back then, 1AA semifinal game. That's 2 steps from a national championship.
The energy that we had brought to that stadium and for the crowd to feed off us, it was electric. And for a time back then, that meant a lot to us. You know, them showing out and showing up to, to root us on. And, it was electrifying, so I really appreciate that.
You just got to look at this place, I think for the first time, this stadium and the locker room, and you were taking video of it to tell your former teammates, we laid the foundation, this is what it is right now.
The feeling of accomplishment, to understand that this stadium was built on our backs, our blood, sweat, and tears, the hard work that we put in on a day-to-day basis, day in and day out. And for them to go back in time and to see what we were doing and to not even see it, to have that vision of where it is now is awesome.
So tell us what you're doing today.
Today, as a career, I work in Miami-Dade Corrections and Law Enforcement, and it's a pretty promising career, a blessing career, financially stable, and I also coach at Miami Northwestern High School football. Alumni, go Bulls.
Coaches in Florida don't make a lot of money, particularly assistant coaches. I'm assuming it's because you love the game of football and you want to give back to the young folks in your community.
The coach's stipend is about $800 down in Miami. And by the time we get paid, I've been and gave all that away to kids asking for food. Coach, can I have some food? Coach, can I get gas money? Coach, can you take me here, there? I mean, I love the kids, and all the coaches at Miami Northwestern, we pretty much do the same thing. We all love the kids, and we go out our way for them, making sure that they have and not in a position where they are in need of anything.
Now, working in the Department of Corrections, I'm assuming that's not an easy job, and you're dealing with some pretty bad people on a somewhat daily basis.
it's very dangerous. It has its moments, and I want to say that it was one particular situation that transpired where we got a guy that had $20 million stuffed in his wall. We had to take him to court. So I'm looking like, where's the SWAT team? Why they not following us? Where's the police? Why they not following us? It was just myself and the supervisor. And at the time, I went and got me a bulletproof vest. And my supervisor saw me and was like, Swain, you selfish, where's my bulletproof vest? I said, sorry, you gotta go and check it out. But yeah, it definitely has its challenges.
Swain's connection with Florida Atlantic remains strong, especially now that his daughter Anaya is a freshman on campus. That's our show for this week. I'm Frank Fort. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on Inside the Owls Burrow. This has been a presentation of Playfly.
What does it mean to feel welcome? To not only be cared for, but to be cared about, to trust. At Baptist Health, this is the warmer side of care. So welcome to being treated with a human touch, where your best interest is our best interest. Here, we advance innovation and treatments through research while educating the next generation of experts close to home. Welcome to the warmer side of care. Welcome to Baptist Health.
Do you need a personal injury lawyer?
No recovery, no fees. No recovery, no fees.
You need a personal injury lawyer?
Owls fans, get electrified with Phil Smith Acura with the innovative styles of the premium all-electric SUV Acura ZDX. Enjoy impressive range, convenient charging, and a dynamic drive. And right now, eligible buyers can get up to $7,500 federal tax credit. Scan the QR code to explore the all-electric ZDX. Owls fans, get electrified with Phil Smith Acura.
At Sage Dental, you'll experience a modern, family-friendly approach to dentistry. From pediatric dentistry and orthodontics to cleanings and oral surgery, we've got the latest technology to provide your family the best dental care all in one place. And for a limited time, get a free new patient exam and x-rays, plus a free ProClean Sonic toothbrush at your first hygiene visit. Book your appointment today at mysagedental.com. Sage Dental. Open up and say awesome.